of day one here at Philly Hoagie Roll, hosted by Philly Roller Derby Juniors. We will have the Philly Junior Brawl Stars taking on the Pittsburgh Derby Brats, Pit Bulls, Pit Bulldozers. I don't think that's correct. This is just the Pit Bulls, although there is a Pit Bulldozer. All right, so let's run through our teams here. We'll start with Pittsburgh, our quote-unquote visiting team, skating for the Pit Bulls this evening. Number 00, Mad Catter. Wearing number 101, Mad Dog. 108, Pound Cake. 17, Deer Dance. Number 22, G-Force. 3260, Big Rig. 333, Stinging Scorpio. Number 42, Peanut Cutter. 48, Tricky Vic. Number 54, Captain Crush. Number 6, My Apologies. Number 7, Bedhead. Number 74, Kitty Killjoy. Number 934, Huffleruff. Those are our Pittsburgh Derby Brats, Pit Bulls, taking on the Philly Juniors Brawl Stars. Skating in this game for the Brawl Stars, number 10, Tenacious K. Wearing number 124, Strawberry Shortquake. Wearing number 18, Baby Slaya. Number 22, Wrecked. Wearing number 23, Squid. Number 24, Sparks. Wearing number 33, Casserole. We've got number 404, Jack in the Box. Wearing number 505, Jocelyn Moon. Number 55, Rainbow Crash. Wearing number 56, Catatonic. Number 612, Gemini. Number 666, Deathcap. Wearing number 7, Indigo. And number 909, Livid. Those are our Philly Juniors, Philly Brawl Stars. Just a reminder that food is not permitted on the rink area. Any part of the rink area at any time. All drinks must have a cover or a cap, so we do not have any spills. Please be sure to throw all of your trash. We thank you in advance for your help in keeping our facility clean. Now tomorrow's game, 8 a.m. bright and early. That's going to be the Columbia Quad Squad Juniors taking on the Pixies. Then at 10:15 a.m., Pittsburgh Injured Dead taking on Santa Cruz. But hey, let's talk more about this game. This is going to start here in just a moment. That whistle starts the action. Deer Dance out there taking on Tenacious K. Mad Dog and Tricky Vic working against Tenacious K. Now Mad Dog takes a spill. Tenacious K is out, and Tenacious K is our lead jammer. Tenacious K on a scoring pass. G-Force tries to take Tenacious K out of bounds, but Tenacious K finishes that pass with 4 points. Now there's a star pass. Mad Dog taking that jammer star. Mad Dog crashing in the back of that tripod. Looks like Squid working in there along with Casserole. Mad Dog trying her best to get out of there, and Mad Dog is through, and she's out of the... No, she's not. She makes one last move. One hip check by Catatonic, taking Mad Dog out of bounds to the outside. Mad Dog forced to restart this pass. Tenacious K is out. 2 scoring passes down. Tenacious K still on a roll. Now Tenacious K winding up for a 3rd trip through the pack. Mad Dog still at that jammer star, fighting with a Philly tripod at the back of the pack. Pittsburgh working a 3-wall with a catch there against Tenacious K. G-Force holding up that tripod, bracing. Now G-Force goes to the inside, defending that line. Tricky Vic working that tripod there along with number 00 from Pittsburgh. That's Mad Catter. Mad Dog taken out of bounds by the Philly pivot. That is number 33, Casserole. And Mad Dog forced to restart this pass. Now Tenacious K taken down by Tricky Vic. Mad Dog does come out of that scoring pass. Looks like that's 4 points for Mad Dog and 11 points for Tenacious K. So number 108 Pound Cake with the jammer star here. For Pittsburgh, we have Wrecked on the jammer line for Philly. Peanut Cutter working some defense there along with Kitty Killjoy. But Wrecked is out. This is 2 leads in a row for Philly. Pound Cake working back and forth with that Philly 4 wall. Front of the pack, Wrecked. Getting past number 54, Captain Crush. And Wrecked puts the first 4 points down on the board. Now Pound Cake out of the pack. Wrecked coming in for a second trip through. Number 7, Bedhead closing up that line. Now Peanut Cutter goes to the inside, but Wrecked finds a hole past Peanut Cutter and gets out. Philly now looking at an 8-point jam. Now Pound Cake is out, puts 4 points on the board for the Pitbulls. Wrecked now on a third round of points. Peanut Cutter working the back of that tripod, trying to slow down Wrecked. Pound Cake put out of bounds. Wrecked is out, looking at a 12-point jam. And Pittsburgh is losing Pound Cake to a jammer penalty. So this is the last few seconds of this jam. Will be a power jam in the hands of Wrecked. And Wrecked signals the call off. That's gonna freeze Pound Cake in the penalty box to start this next jam and give a power start over to Philly. Death Cap coming out the jam for Philly on this power start. Pound Cake still in the box from that earlier penalty late in that last jam. Hufflepuff rejoins the Pittsburgh defense to the front of the pack against number 666 Death Cap. Now Hufflepuff defending that outside line, but Death Cap is out. Philly now 3 leads in a row. Pound Cake coming out of the box, fighting. It looks like Squid is bracing that tripod against Pound Cake. Now Philly losing Squid to the penalty box as Pound Cake comes out and completes their initial pass. Pound Cake taken out by Catatonic. Death Cap working there against G-Force, who's guarding that back of that tripod. Now Tricky Vic gets in to do some defense. Pittsburgh working their 4-wall defense against Death Cap now. and Tenacious K out there to jam once again for Pittsburgh. Stinging Scorpio has a star for the Pit Bulls. Look at the tumble there. Stinging Scorpio taken down. Tenacious K coming out with that Philly Brawl Stars lead. Big Rig and Peanut Cutter working defense there at the back of the pack against Tenacious K. Stinging Scorpio is out with 4 points for Pittsburgh. Now Scorpio winding up for another scoring pass. Scorpio is in. Looks like Scorpio takes a bit of a tumble. Captain Crush putting a block on Tenacious K. Big Rig walling up that Pittsburgh defense. Now it looks like Big Rig called off a multiplayer block. Tenacious K taking advantage of that, coming out with 4 points. Oh, Stinging Scorpio stays in bounds, but is taken down by number 7, Indigo. Stinging Scorpio gets back up, rejoins the pack. Now has to take on Indigo and number 612, Gemini, held up. Held up, I believe that's Casserole bracing that tripod. Stinging Scorpio. Not our lead jammer, cannot call off the action. So Tenacious K comes out, completes the second round of points, making this an 8-4 jam. Four more points here rolling in for Stinging Scorpio. So Pit Bulls 25, Brawl Stars 42. Now we got Deer Dance out there taking on Wrecked. Deer Dance gets ahead, but Philly throws their entire defense at Deer Dance. Deer Dance gets up front. Squid goes for a hit, but Deer Dance is past Squid, and she is our lead jammer. Deer Dance now winding up for a scoring pass, crashing into number 18 from Philly. That's Baby Slaya. Deer Dance takes a spill, gets back up on her skates, and she's out with 4 points. Huffleruff slowing down Wrecked. Wrecked is still stuck on this pass. Now Pittsburgh reforms their defense at the top of the pack against Wrecked. Here comes Deer Dance, though, crashing into that Philly tripod at the back of the pack. Philly down a blocker in the box. So Wrecked is out, completes their initial pass. Deer Dance comes out of the pack, calls it off before she takes on Squid. So 8-0 in favor of the Pit Bulls. They're at 33, Brawl Stars 42. Moving into a 5-on-5 jam. Deathcap out there taking on Mad Dog. Mad Dog is through. And Mad Dog is our lead jammer. Both jammers now out of the pack, but Mad Dog is ahead. Now here comes Mad Dog, powering her way past that defensive wall of Philly blockers. Philly reforms her defense at the front of the pack, but Mad Dog is out. She's got 4 points. 4-0 there. Net 4 in favor of Pittsburgh. Thanks to Mad Dog, 37-42 now. It is a 5-point game. $17:46 left to our first half of this game, which may end up being a nail-biter with Pittsburgh catching up the way that they have. Tenacious K out there versus Pound Cake. Pittsburgh walling up, putting their entire defensive power at the front of the pack against Tenacious K. Tricky Vic skates up to join that defense, making it a 4-wall. And Tricky Vic called off on a penalty. And Tenacious K is our lead jammer. So Pittsburgh now down one block with Tricky Vic in the penalty box. Tenacious K comes out, puts 4 points on the board, strengthening Philly's lead. Okay, Pound Cake comes out, adding 4 more to Pittsburgh's side of the scoreboard. Down to a 9-point game, mid-jam. Tricky Vic taking down Tenacious K. Now Tricky Vic working some solo blocking against Tenacious K. Tenacious K is taken down on the track. Tricky Vic called off on another penalty as a blocker. And Tenacious K finishes another 4-point pass. That's a 12-point jam for the Brawl Stars, 4 points for the Pitbulls. This next jam will be a 2-4 pack in favor of the Brawl Stars. Up to an 11-point game now. Brawl Stars 54, Pitbulls 43. Brawl Stars with the pack advantage. Deer Dance out there taking on Wrecked. And it's a Pittsburgh lead. Deer Dance is in control. Kitty Killjoy trying to put a hit there on Wrecked. The Wrecked is also out of the pack, so both jammers are out. Pittsburgh still down 2 blockers. Here comes Deer Dance. Deer Dance calling off that Jim mid-scoring pass, but she does have 3 points to her name. That's to bring Pittsburgh now up to 46. Brawl Stars scoreless in that jam at 54. Now Pittsburgh calling for a team timeout. Philly Juniors would like to send a big thanks to the staff here at the Northeast Racket and Fitness Club. We love skating at the NERC and appreciate all the staff does to accommodate our needs throughout the season. And PRDJ would especially like to recognize Miss Anna from the NERC for all of her support the past few years. We love and appreciate you so much. Thank you to all of the amazing PRDJ families who have stepped in to volunteer this weekend. It takes a village to host a tournament, and we could never do it without you. Many thanks. Make sure you let your family and friends know that they can watch this weekend's action on YouTube. If you follow Philly at Philly Roller Derby Juniors, all one word, and then the number 5763. All one word on YouTube will get you to this tournament action. Our officials regrouping and taking their positions here on the track. It's still going to be a 4-2 pack here in favor of the Brawl Stars. Pittsburgh putting up number 101, Mad Dog. There's some barking going on in the stands there. Mad Dog taking off, but Death Cap is our lead jammer. Indigo taking Mad Dog out. Mad Dog called off on a back block. So this is a power jam in the hands of Philly now. And Death Cap still on this power jam. Comes out of that pack with the first round of points. Death Cap now coming in for a second scoring pass. Mad Dog finishing her time in the box. Comes back into the game. Death Cap looks like it's taken down by Tricky Vic. Now Tricky Vic going to bring Death Cap all the way back. Mad Dog out of the pack. Pittsburgh walling up G-Force up in front there, working with Bedhead. Now being joined by Peanut Cutter. Now Pittsburgh has their entire defensive strength back on the track. 5-on-5 derby. Mad Dog in for her first scoring pass of the jam. Death Cap getting some blocking by Pittsburgh. Tricky Vic coming in to defend that inside line against Death Cap. But Death Cap does step through. She's out with another 4 points. This is a 12-point jam for Philly. Timeout called by our officials. 12:46 left to our period clock. Philly Juniors would like to thank 187 Killer Pads for their support this season. Hey, if you skate, you know, 187 Killer Pads are the choice of more pro skaters than any other brand, with visionary designs and top-rated safety in a variety of spectacular patterns. Don't skate without your 187 pads. Score now, 66 Brawl Stars, 49 Pittsburgh Pit Bulls. That timeout coming to an end. Going back to some more derby action. It's going to be a 5-on-5 jam. Both teams are at full strength. And we're off. Tenacious K out there taking on Deer Dance. And Deer Dance getting a block there by Casserole. But Deer Dance is our lead jammer. Pit Bulls with the lead. Philly now down one blocker. Here comes Deer Dance. And Deer Dance called off on a back block against Gemini. So Deer Dance on her way to the box. Now it's a power jam in the hands of Tenacious K. Livid coming back in from the penalty box. It's still a power jam in the hands of Philly now. Deer Dance had lead, but was called off on a back block. Now she's in the box, losing her lead privileges. It's going to be a 2-minute jam. Tenacious K gets some solo blocking by My Apologies. Now Huffleruff gets to the front of the pack, but they go out of play. We're jammer on jammer now, and jammer on jammer stumble. Both jammers do take a bit of a fall. They are both coming out of that pack with 4 points to show for it. Neither one can call off the action, so we got to go for the full 2 minutes. Deer Dance is stuck in the pack and being recycled to the back. Tenacious K is out with another 4. And an apex jump by Tenacious K. Looks like she comes back in and takes the spill, so she's going to take the safe route and restart that pass. Meanwhile, Deer Dance is in the pack. All right, Deer Dance breaking out, adding 4 more to Pittsburgh. So evening out this jam, all said and done. It's going to be an 8-8 jam, so nothing gained, nothing lost. And Philly going for a team timeout with 10 minutes left on our first period. Philly would like to thank Strong Athletics, starting out in 2014 as a t-shirt company with the mission to create a space where people are proud of who they are. Founder Nadia Keene created Strong Athletic for a very specific reason: to give athletes, both conventional and those that fall outside of the mainstream, a safe space in which they can be who they are and communicate with one another. Unapologetically, that is. The Strong Athletic reminds you that you do not need anyone's permission to demonstrate your strength. You are Strong Athletic. Stay strong. We are starting day 2 of Hoagie Roll tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. sharp. Columbia Quad Squad Junior Rollers versus the Pixies. And at 10:15, Pittsburgh Derby Brats Units are dead, taking on Santa Cruz. Our third game will be Columbia taking on Philly. More on that later. Right rolling whistle brings us to the end of that timeout. Our next jam will be a full 5-on-5 jam. Our penalty box is empty. Wrecked out there taking on G-Force. Oh, Wreck taking a bit of a spill. G-Force taken out of bounds by Squid. Squid with the rollback now on G-Force. Both jammers in the pack. Bedhead closing in on an elevator door move to take down Wrecked. G-Force gaining some room there on the track, and she's out. Pittsburgh is in the lead. G-Force is in control. Wreck taken down on this initial pass and is brought all the way to the back by Bedhead. G-Force called off on a jammer penalty, so not what Pittsburgh needs right now to regain these 20 points that they are down. It's a power jam now in the hands of Wrecked, and no chance for a call-off. Bedhead taking Wrecked down on the outside, right around the jammer line. And Wrecked working backwards to bring, Bedhead working backwards to bring Wrecked all the way to the back. Now Peanut Cutter getting in on some of that blocking action against G-Force. And G-Force recovering from that penalty. She is back in, and she's got the first 4 points of the jam on the board. All said and done, 7-point jam for Pit Bulls, 4 points for Philly, 81-64. Now Livid with the jammer star. Livid is out. Mad Dog with the star for Pittsburgh, but Livid is our lead jammer, going from co-announcer to lead jammer in just a couple hours. A very impressive feat. Tricky Vic trying to close up the outside, but Livid is through with the first 4 points of the jam. Casserole taking down Mad Dog, keeping Mad Dog at the back of the pack. And Livid called off on a forearm. So Mad Dog looking at a power jam with 1:14 left to the jam. Mad Dog comes out. It's a matching 4-4 jam right now. Mad Dog in the still on a power jam. Now Mad Dog is in. Oh, takes a bit of a stumble on her skates. Gemini steps up and guards up against and blocks up against Casserole. Mad Dog taking a bit of a spill once again. Philly still down a jammer. Mad Dog taken down back to back to back. She goes for a hole on the inside, but Gemini shuts Mad Dog down, bringing Mad Dog all the way to the back. Okay, Livid back out from that earlier forearm. She's got 4 more points, making this an 8-point jam for Philly, but no chance for a call-off. Now Livid with another round of 4. This is a 12-point jam by Livid. Tricky Vic headed off the penalty box at the end of that jam. 14-8 there in favor of Philly. They're at 95. Pit Bulls 72. Just under 6 minutes left to our first half of the game. It's Tenacious K taking on Deer Dance. And Tenacious K is out. Deer Dance taken down on the track. She's going to recycle and retard that pass. Now Squid guarding, putting a block on Deer Dance, guarding the outside line. Pittsburgh losing their pivot to a clockwise block, so no chance for a star pass. Deer Dance puts that star back on her helmet. Tenacious K completing her second scoring pass, making this an 8-point jam. Now Bull Jammers coming out of the pack with 4 points, 12-4 jam so far. Tenacious K coming in for a fourth scoring pass. And Tenacious K bounces off Tricky Vic, and she's out with another 4. Oh, Deer Dance called off on a track cut. That's going to put her in the penalty box. They hand a power jam now over to Tenacious K as Philly has broken the 100-point mark. They're at 111. This jam's still going. Tenacious K looking at so far a 20-point jam with 36 seconds to go. Tricky Vic taking down Tenacious K coming around the turn. Tenacious K still on this power jam. Tricky Vic trying to get in Tenacious K's way. Tenacious K calls off the jam. That's going to freeze. That's going to freeze Deer Dance in the penalty box and buy Philly a power start for our next jam. 3 minutes and 40-some seconds left to our first half. Out to jam for Philly. It is wrecked. Philly now losing their pivot to a penalty. Wrecked out there. Deer Dance with the jammer star for Pittsburgh. Deer Dance started the jam in the box, so it is possible for both either jammer to get lead. Deer Dance is out. So Pittsburgh Pit Bulls with lead jammer. G-Force holding back wrecked. Deer Dance comes out, puts 4 points on the board for the Pit Bulls. Brett coming in, crashing into a defensive wall of Philly blockers. Looks like Rex does have 3 points at the end of that jam. That's just going to net 1 point there for Pittsburgh, 82 under Philly's 122. And Stinging Scorpio is our lead jammer for Pittsburgh, but she is swallowed back up into the pack. She re-enters behind those blockers, but Squid takes Stinging Scorpio out of bounds. Wow, that was a very dirty stare by Squid. I think I felt that. I'm going to have goosebumps for at least a week and a half after that. I look in the Squid's eyes, now I feel cold. Oh, okay, Stinging Scorpio is being called off on a track cut. Stinging Scorpio issued that track cut, so she's on her way to the box. It's going to be a 2-minute jam. So far, our jammers are scoreless. So Death Cap on a power jam, jamming solo right now. Philly, on Pittsburgh, that is, they have all 4 of their defensive blockers on the track. Squid coming in, trying to break up a hole for Death Cap. There is a star pass over to Jocelyn Moon, but Jocelyn Moon is taken out of bounds. Sting Scorpio back in from that earlier track cut. Both jammers now back in the pack. Philly losing Squid to the penalty box. And that jam is over with just seconds left on the period clock. I think that's going to bring us into halftime. And there it is. We're going to take a 15-minute break. Going to halftime, Pitbull's 82 Brawl Stars.